Hello everyone! When I first started my model making journey, I was working for a model making firm and they had a great, fantastic workshop. While in contrast, I built my personal models for university in my carport. Now when I paid off on my own and started getting my own clients, the carport wouldn't do and we moved to a small space out in the country. Now that space was great, it offered security and noise control, but there wasn't proper dust control and I was inhaling all sorts of wood dust, acrylic dust, even spray paint. It wasn't really good. Finally, we committed to this new space. It is a proper industrial unit. We finally got everything set up. We also have a model that is just shipping out today, so we thought that now would be a great time to give you a tour. To my left is a high bay roller door where we bring in our raw materials such as these large sheet goods of acrylic or expanded PVC foam. We also bring in our large timber boards. Here's this one. This is a new shipment of basswood that just arrived. And we process these materials through this table saw into more manageable sizes that we can bring in to the different areas. Underneath here is a chest of drawers which contain our table saw accessories such as feather boards, push sticks, and extra blades. So behind the table saw is our outfeed table, which offers support for our longer raw materials as it comes off the blade and it doesn't just fall off. On the outfeed table, we have these two grooves, which accommodates our crosscut sled. This table is also where we do our larger assemblies, or if we need to sand something away from the assembly area, we have overhanging power points that we can plug in an orbital sander to. Underneath the outfeed table is where we keep our table saw sleds. We have two crosscut sleds, a tapering jig, as well as a jointing sled. Behind me here is our dust extractor that is connected to our table saw, as well as our router table, where we do most of our routing. So grooves, chamfers, bevels, routing stuff. Underneath the router table is accessories for the router table as well as accessories for our handheld router. So next to our router table is our miter saw. So it's where we do our rough cross cuts or miter cuts. And eventually we do want to build a large miter saw station with lots of storage for loose power tools, maybe a charging station. But for now, it's just sat on top of this miter saw stand, which is pretty good. It has adjustable stops. And behind here, just for now, we keep our pipe clamps. This is a very, very long one. It's about 2 meters where we use to build our larger model bases. Over here is where we shape all the components that we cannot just cut with the laser cutter or the CNC router. We take the manageable raw materials that we have processed from the material processing area here. We cut it to the rough shape, and then we use the disc sander and the spindle sander to shape the final shape. So this disc sander is set on top of this sanding station, which we keep our orbital sanders, belt sanders, as well as a bench grinder we keep in there. The bandsaw and the disc sander is machines that we usually go back and forth all the time. So they are in this little island underneath these LED lights, which provide plenty of lighting for our detail work, and they are respectively connected to another dust extractor and a shop vac to keep this area pretty dust free. This is our drill press. This is kind of like our drilling station at the moment, so we have all the different drill bits here. Down here we have where we keep our screws, bolts, nuts, washers, stuff like that. Over here is our nail gun, brad nails, different brad nails. We have a Dremel and all its bits, handheld drill. Down here is where we keep our joinery systems, so a lot of crack jigs, the crack pocket hole jig, as well as a dowel jig. Over here is where we keep our different widths of bandsaw blades. And finally over there is our air compressor next to the spray booth. So this is our custom built spray booth, which is a great investment for us and our health. We don't only do our painting here, but also messier stuff like mold making and casting. And this spray booth extracts all paint over spray, all toxic fumes straight out of the building. So this is our paint mixing table. we mix our paint, and here we keep our mixing cups, steering sticks, filters. We put our paint in our spray guns and airbrushes. And if we're doing detail work, we might just spray it right here. But if we're usually spraying components to be assembled in the assembly area later on, we might put the components on a board like this. Then we can spray paint them and then take it away, and while it's drying, we can put another lot of components on another board, mix up another batch of color and spray those too, and use our time more efficiently. Here is a shelf where we keep our miscellaneous painting supplies. We also have our mold making supplies. We have silicone, polyurethane, resins, mold releases, things like that. And over here is our flammables cabinet. So in here is where we keep our paint. We have our mixed paints, spray cans, model making favorites such as these Vallejo paints. And down here we also keep our varnishes, oils, solvents, fillers. We also have bulk glue. Oh, and we also keep our vacuum chamber here for mold making and casting. So this is our main material shelf. It also functions as a separation between the messier part of the workshop and the assembly area through that. Up here is where we keep our lighter materials such as foam. We have different kinds of foam and a hot wire knife to go with them. This is expanded PVC foam. It's a very good structural material that we often use for our bases, same as MDF. This is a fragile timber, so it's where we keep our basswood sheets or a popular model making material, balsa, which you might be familiar with. This is tooling board. This is a composite material that a lot of model makers use, especially good for prototyping on the CNC router. You might know this material as Randshape, but Randshape is a proprietary brand. Down here is exotic timbers. So we're here in Australia. We have Banksia, Truett. We're in Western Australia, and Jarrah is very popular wood here. Some of my preferred timber are imported, such as the American black walnut or the European lime, which is very good for carving. We also have some timber veneers. And finally down here, we have tubs where we keep our offcuts. We have one for pine, one for lime, and other timber. Next to our material shelf is our clamp rack. So we have your usual one-handed quick release clamps. We also have parallel clamps, hand clamps, and other specialty clamps. All the clamps are on this clamp rack that's actually on wheels, so that we can wheel it to any part of the workshop, like the spray booth, the outfeed table, the assembly area, just anywhere that we need a third hand. So this is our machining area. This is our CNC router, which allows us to carve some complex forms like round skates or the intricate facade details that architects are so fond of. This machine can work on timber, plastic foams, and even some light aluminium. In that corner, we're going to eventually add a dust extractor connected to the machine to better control the dust in this area. We also built this little station where we house the computer for the machine, as well as where we keep all our end mills. So I call this area the machining area because eventually we do want to have a metal lathe in this gap here. So up until I can't pronounce it properly, a lathe is a machine that makes round objects. So you will eventually be in here, but for now we have a scroll saw, we have a mortiser, which if you don't know, it's like a drill press, but it makes square holes. Down here is our metal working tools. So we have a welder, angle grinder, as well as some handheld tools like tin snips in this red toolbox. Here we keep things like styrene profiles. So we have, let's see, an L angle, different kinds of styrene I-beams for models, different kind of roof corrugated sheeting, some meshes. This is a copper mesh. Up here is our hot wire cutter. You might be familiar with this from architecture school if you've been to one. We do a lot of massive models out of blue foam with this. On this top shelf is where we keep our loose power tools for now, but we'll eventually move it to the miter saw station as discussed before. Eventually up here, what I like to have is like a junk library where we keep stuff like this. So this is a plastic injected molded part from our old bandsaw. And rather than throwing this away, I thought we could probably incorporate this into a future model build. Finally, at the top here is where we keep our photography equipment, such as lighting and backdrop for our finished models, as well as for videos like this one. So next to all that is where we keep our landscaping supplies. So we have wire and flock to create our trees and hedges. We also have other scenic supplies to create even waterfalls or rocks. In here is where we keep our entourage pieces, such as cars or little scale figures like this. So this is a 1 of 50 person. Underneath here is where we keep our thicknesser for now. We can build this thicknesser out, and the height of the thicknesser interfaces very well with our outfit table for where we need to do our planing. So this is our paintboard next to our assembly area. It is useful for us to paint up our sections, plans, color charts, anything that we need to reference while we assemble the model. We also have some charts here to help us convert between imperial and metric. So here in Australia, we are a metric country. However, we do have some tools, fixings and screws that are imperial, and this helps us convert between the systems. So as we come in from the office, there's a shelf here that contains all our safety equipment. So we have gloves, eye protection, dust mask, ear protection, some more aprons. And over here is our tool wall, built by my employee and partner Sam. It utilizes the French cleat system, which allows us to reposition the tools. This tool wall has the usual assortment of hand tools, like pliers, spanners, chisels, rasps, screwdrivers, hammers and mallets, and all kinds of saws. So usually when we need a tool from either the tool wall or the tool chest, we will put them on these little trolleys, bring them around to the assembly area, to any part of the workshop, and then when we're done for the day, we make sure that all tools go back to where they belong. This is the assembly area, where the parts that we have fabricated, machined, or painted are assembled into the final model. As you can see, our workshop can accommodate large models such as this one, which is just under 2 meters across. We can fabricate larger models, but you have to take into account factors such as transportation and the dimensions of the doorways to your exhibition space. We probably have to fabricate larger models in modular parts. So this model is actually going out today. We're just waiting for the removal list to arrive. And as you can see here, Sam has packed a nice lunchbox of repair materials for us to take with us in case the model gets damaged during transport. And we also have another cable tray at the top of the assembly area with LED lights as well as more power points in case we need to do some Dremel work perhaps on the model. And sometimes we also set up these lights if we need some spot lighting into a particular area. So this is the digital fabrication area. This here is our laser cutter. It is connected to this exhaust to extract all the potentially harmful fumes. There is another port there, which I'll talk about it later. This here is our 3D printer. It is a cell robot. It is an absolute workhorse and very reliable. At the time, we chose this particular printer because it's pretty much plug and play. Now, we're all tinkerers and makers. However, we do have clients and deadlines, so we just need something that just works. Now that we're more comfortable with 3D printing, we will expand to more 3D printers. We're thinking about some STL systems, resin printing. So we will build an enclosure here for those 3D printers and connect it to the remaining port. Down here underneath the 3D printer is where we keep the sheet goods that we have cut specifically for the bed of the laser cutter. So over here we have 2mm white acrylic, 3mm white acrylic, clear acrylic, some cardstock. And over here is where we keep our laser cutting scrap, such as pieces like this. We try to use as much of the material as possible. It's better for the environment, it's better for our pockets. This here is where we keep our long rulers and T-squares. This here is where we keep our spirit levels. And this here is the main tool chest where we keep our smaller model making tools. We will make a new video going into detail into this chest, but for now, this chest contains things like our squares, our scalpels, tweezers, pliers, sculpting tools, glues, and all kinds of stuff. Up here, this is where we keep our two glue guns, one for high temperature, one for low temperature, and the glue sticks for the respective guns. And that brings us back to where we started. We have deliberately kept this area clear from all vertical obstructions next to the roller door so that we can potentially take a commission up to about 2 stories high. Thank you guys all for watching. If you like this video, please like and subscribe. If you have any questions, suggestions, or comments, please comment in the comment section below. And I'll see you next time. Thanks for watching.